Are you ready for what's coming at Cricket Centre? Anyway, I welcome you because this is a big moment for both teams. Well, Kolkata Knight Riders must win game against Mumbai Indians, and for Mumbai Indians, they'll have to scrounge all the points they can get because just 5 more matches remaining. This has become so vital for both teams. Now, take a look at the top two. All they need is a couple of wins and they will sail easy. And you're talking about 3, 4, and 5. The teams there, Rajasthan Royals, Kolkata Knight Riders, and the Sunrisers. All they need is a couple of wins. It's the most confusing affair there. And the bottom 3 teams can always make it difficult when it comes to who's going to qualify as the top 4. Well, for Kolkata Knight Riders, I think they've just about found the momentum. Peaking too early is bad in these kind of tournaments. And I think Gambhir, started so poorly. He got a duck, followed that with another duck, and another circle that followed. So 3 circles, and then they said, if he gets a 4th circle, there is a car waiting for him. Well, you know what that car is. And then social sites, I tell you, they can be so mean. They went vehemently saying, what about a car? I think one more circle he adds in that 5th innings, he's going to represent India in the Olympics. Okay, that's what they said. But Gambhir, well, fortunately, he is such a gritty player, took responsibility on his shoulders, and see what he's done in the remaining 5 innings. And that's the reason why KKR are up at the top now. Well, the other thing that's worked for them is Robin Uthappa. Well, statistics can give you all the wrong notion about a batsman's ability. Well, all along, you might say statistics says this is what has been his strike rate when he was batting at 4 or 5. Well, unfortunately, I think this is where KKR just made the mistake saying, we will use him as someone who can go blast after the 7th, 8th, maybe 10th over, whenever he gets into it, and then the death overs is none like Robin Uthappa because that's his striking ability. But in domestic cricket, this season in particular, we've noticed that he did exceptionally well as an opening batsman. That's the reason why he has such a lot of talent which is being utilized at the top, and the average that you notice is 51.3, and then his striking ability, that's also brilliant. Now, the other thing that they have a very settled batting unit now, and all along I think it was a case of who is going to open with whom, and they found that that solution is working, and quality batsmen like Manish Pandey, Kallis, and Surya Kumar Yadav, that's the linchpin there. That young kid has come good because he's made use of those 10 or 12 deliveries that he's faced, and then he's maximized it. And I think that's the reason why KKR has done so well, but the puzzle still remains with Shakib Al Hasan and Jack Ellis. 2 of the best all-rounders they have, no question about Jack Ellis, world's best all-rounder. He's got to be part of the playing 11, but why do they drop Hasan? Just no understanding there at all. Well, why would you want to try Andre Russell and Ten Discotheque? I think this is where they've made a mistake. But from here on, you might say they've given a little break to Kallis and too long a break for Hasan. Well, it won't happen from here because all these matches become so crucial. Top performers with the ball. No doubt about the fact, Nareen and Morkel. Morkel winning the game against Kings 11 Punjab. Well, establish the fact that on a day when this man can get a ball rearing up your throat is the most difficult one to handle. And he found all that rhythm and continues to find the rhythm in the power play overs. So Nareen, no doubts about the fact that when he comes on to bowl, batsmen are absolutely overcautious. If anything, the batting has clicked phenomenally well because they've established a good opening partnership now after struggling in the initial phase of this tournament. In the last few games, they managed with Robin Uthappa and Gambhir a couple of 100-run partnership. But their opponent, on the other hand, Mumbai Indians, yet to get a 50-run partnership going for the first wicket. Soon, we'll take a look at that team. We already noticed what Kolkata Knight Riders as a team can be very, very powerful opponent if they get their act together. For Mumbai Indians, for them to get their act together, they need to get a first wicket partnership that's decent. They haven't achieved that in all these games, a 50-plus run first wicket partnership. And for that, they've made a few changes. Michael Hussey came in, then he left, replaced by Dunk, and then finally they've settled down for Lendl Simmons. He's provided some sort of a start, and Lendl Simmons has been a replacement because of Saksena's injury. Well, the other problem there is his compatriot. Pollard, the world's best all-rounder we've seen, Callis on the other side, and Pollard can be absolutely devastating when it comes to batting. Unfortunately, when the batting part is picked up, his bowling is still in the depths. It's a huge problem for Mumbai Indians because if he doesn't get his act together as the fifth bowler, sharing the ball with Corey Anderson, it's an absolute nuisance because look at the way Lasith Malinga, Harbhajan Singh, and even Zahir Khan. Well, Zahir Khan, normally somebody you don't associate doing too well in the T20s. He's done so well, but then his injury has left a void. Fortunately for them, the young Bumrah has come in. He's done well, and the problem areas has been Oja. Take a look at 199. We would love to have his batting average for a bowler. That is, you don't want to see that. Definitely Oja wouldn't want to see that. And following him is Pollard, 197. You'd be happy with that strike rate, indeed. Well, that's the problem area for them. But Malinga, Harbhajan Singh, the two of them have bowled exceptionally well. That's not the only worry, because when it comes to partnership, we've already seen the opening pair not doing too well. They're looking to resurrect that problem. But this one, how are they going to manage? It's already into the 10th game. Corey Anderson and Pollard, the two of them who were expected to do so much damage anywhere to any team. Well, the damage they are doing is to their own team as bowlers. Look at that, 10.71. I want to get my bat, go down and say, Corey Anderson, come along, and Pollard, do the other end. Well, that's something which Mumbai Indians are not able to contain as the fifth bowlers have gone for too many runs. But one thing that's come good for them is, fortunately here or there, a few injuries, and then comes Praveen Kumar from like a bolt from the blue. He gets a call and says, yes, who's speaking? And they say, we are from Mumbai Indians and we want your services. And he says, oh, I'm on the next flight. I will take a rickshaw. Whichever way, I'm there at the venue. I'm going to be there. And that's how desperate a Praveen Kumar must have been. Exceptional bowler. You give him the new ball, he will make it talk. And that is the figures for you. Well, 29 wickets picked up in the power play overs. And then he might be going for a lot of runs when it comes to the death overs and not so effective in the middle overs. But even in the death overs, when he's gone for runs, he's picked up 26 wickets. And I think you can't get a better bowler than that. And he's just played one game. We may not want to go hammer and tongs, say he's the best seam bowler in the country. But he's definitely one of the best seam bowlers in the country. And at the Eden Gardens, I'm sure he would want to exploit the conditions because whatever I've seen in domestic cricket this season at the Eden Gardens, I think both teams would want to make use of the seamer as well. And this will be a right time to do that. Praveen Kumar, and he should be well supported by Bumrah. Weird action, just like I say, Bumrah, and then comes the action as well. One hand here, one hand there, and the batsman is never sure because he really rocks the batsman with those quick yorkers. He's pacey through the air. So Bumrah has done well, the young kid, and India is also looking forward to such fast bowlers. Weird action it might be, but the way these two teams want to shape up, I think they want to get as many seamers in place. And this could well be the lineup you want because when it comes to Callis, Hassan, and then Morkel, Narine, no replacement for those four, the best four foreigners you can get. And the batting is pretty much set when it comes to Kolkata Knight Riders. The top two will have to be Gambhir, Robin Uthappa. Manish Pandey will go and give it a little swivel and then get as many runs as he can. Very smart cricketer, street smart, I must say. And then on the other side, you already have the experience of Lasith Malinga, Harbhajan Singh. The support from the bowling perspective, now they're going to get from Praveen Kumar and Bumrah doing well, both at the power play and the death overs. I think this is where the issue of the fifth bowler, they'll have to somehow cover up when it comes to Corey Anderson and Pollard. Batting, definitely in a better situation because Raidu is doing well, Rohit Sharma is doing well, and for Mumbai Indians, I might say this slowly, steadily reaching some sort of rhythm about them. And for Kolkata Knight Riders, this is a must-win game, and they'll have to get everything in one place and then finish the game. So this is where the Indian Premier League stands, where for Kolkata Knight Riders, must win. Mumbai Indians, they'll have to continue to keep their head above the water. Until then, goodbye.